And as Paula was saying, this really is intended for, we had some of great words around that self-compassion, right? Things like that, that we have to look to ourselves first, even if we're the person that's in that leading role. We're rural mental health animators. We're wellness people that we do consulting, we do life coaching, we teach yoga, we do all of these things. But if we don't do self-reflection for ourselves and if we don't keep our wheel balanced, there's no way that we're going to be able to support other people first. And when we talk about that grassroots method of building a strong community, we have to look within first. And that's really why we wanted to begin with this introduction to the wellness wheel. I'm certain for most of you, you've heard of this before, even participated in different workshops around this, but it's always important to come back to that because it's ever changing, it's ever evolving. So if we can't do the work of evaluating ourselves first, there's no way that we can move on with other individuals.
And we hear the word balance so much. We've heard it today. I know we talk about it a lot, but for me, um, I'm a very visual person, and so the wheel, like Shannon said, when it is, one area is not the same as another area, that really shows to me that the balance. It puts that into a visual to me because especially like my background, like Shannon's, is in fitness. And so that was when I grew up. That was a huge part, was fitness for me. And so then I other areas were never maybe cultivated as much in my life. I was not able to work on certain other areas. And so then maybe the ones that, the area of physical wellness was very well developed, but the others weren't. And so then my life was off kilter. And then I ended up getting sick. And so, yes, I was very physically active and tried to eat healthy, but because everything else was so out of balance. But I don't think I really understood that until I was able to use this wheel for myself to understand that they're all interdependent, and that the part about everything being equally important, that we have to put effort into all areas for our lives to run smoothly and be at optimal wellness.
And I think, and I know we hear it all the time. I think because of COVID or this pandemic, but there are certain aspects that we really have to consider that this has made all of us change up something. And we sometimes don't identify change because some of us feel we're quite flexible. We can move along with change very easily. But it is throwing anyone in this like working generation, there's really no one that has experienced something similar to this in our lifetime. So now we can see how this impacts across that whole domain because we're no longer working at an office now. Some of us are working at home. We're not connected with the same people that we were spending 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week with. So it's really changed up things. And that is why it's important to come back to this to see, ooh, what's kind of out of balance because the world has changed for us.
Mhm. So this is the wheel that we use. And if you happen to come across other wheels, people, well, even in the video, they use the word career instead of occupational, but this one worked and fit with us the best. And so this is the wheel that we're working with today. So emotional, intellectual, occupational, physical, social, financial, environmental, and spiritual wellness is what we're going to talk about. So, through the rest of the evening, we're going to briefly discuss each section. And as we go through the next workshops, then we'll take 2 to 3 per session and dig a little deeper and explore those in relation to yourself and then back in relation to the community.